Hi, I'm Lauren Carrillo. I teach kindergarten at Anderson, and I'm showing you how I make a Bitmoji classroom to stay at the top of my Schoology page. Because my students are so young, they're not so great at doing assignments in Schoology. Last year, when we were remote, some of the time they had to learn, but it was difficult. They needed parents to help them a lot to access links that would come down here in folders. So a lot of people do something at the top, an announcement, a banner with buttons. But I really went all out with a classroom because I wanted it to be visual and for students to be able to have access to links and songs and other documents, but in a 5 year old friendly manner. I still think older grade levels would benefit from having a classroom like this. Just it's just a little bit more appealing, keeps it interesting. I change it each week with the new content that we're learning that week. So, starting from the beginning, you would want to open up Google Slides. So, you would go to your email. Don't make fun of the number of emails I have right here in Slides. And start a new blank presentation. We wouldn't want text boxes right now. And we would be starting from scratch, just creating a room that would look like your classroom or any kind of room that you want it to look like. So it is a lot of work to create one from scratch. There are some already made on Teachers Pay Teachers, which I actually did get one and edited it a lot to make it my own, but I want to show you from scratch first, just the idea of how you would get started. So you've got this blank box and you're really just finding images from Google, or if you have them saved on your computer, you could literally take pictures of the images in your classroom if you want it to look just like your classroom. Take a picture of your teacher table or a poster that you like in your classroom and just do however you send your images from your phone to your computer, send it on Google Drive, email it to yourself, however that works, and then just download it. And then you can enter it in here and you can make it interactive by making it a link to something. So we'll start with insert image. And we're going to search the web because I don't have pictures of my classroom to put in here. We'll just search for images in Google. So we'll start with the floor. I can just type like wood floor and see what comes up. So maybe something like this because it kind of has a place for a wall. So I'm just inserting, or you can double click, make it fit in your rectangle. And you can chop and edit or look for something. I'm going to scoot this up that fits a little better, whatever you like. Okay, so we've got a floor. And maybe you want a rug next. So go back to insert, image, search the web, rug. Sometimes if I want it to look like kind of cartoonish because I'm going to insert my Bitmoji too, which is like a cartoon, then I'll put the word clip art after and it just, has a different look. They're not actual pictures of rugs, but it's whatever you like it to be. So let's say we find this rug. You can actually just double click. And so we'll resize it to make it look good. And let's say we don't like the color of it. Just like a lot of images are, you can edit them. So I can make sure this is selected and go to Format Options. And I can rotate the rug, change all kinds of things, add shadows, flip it, rotate it so that it looks right in the classroom, recolor, and I can make it look different if I want blue. Sometimes it doesn't look right. It'll look a little wonky, but you can play around with it and find one that you do like. And you're just going to keep going, just building what you want to build to make the room look the way you want it. If you want a text box in there, you can add your text box. Insert text box. And maybe welcome to kindergarten or whatever you would like. So anytime you have a box or an image, anything, it can be interactive. So if I want this box that says welcome to kindergarten to link to something, let's say it's a welcome to school video or a read aloud. I mean, whatever it is, if you're putting a picture of a book, you can link it to a YouTube read aloud of the book. And I'm going to go back to my classroom to show you kind of what, once it's done, what kind of links you can have. So here's mine. They'll students see it like this in Schoology. If you click on reading, it takes us to our sight words and word chunk of the week, just our areas of focus. And if you click on this, for example, the word all, it's going to take you to a YouTube video of the word all. This will take you to a game. This is a picture of writing paper, and I just linked it to a PDF of lined paper. So if students are at home and they don't have lined paper, they could print this. So it doesn't have to be a website that you link it to. It can be a PDF that you just upload in your Google Drive. It can be anything. So I'll show you how to do that. Let's pretend I want to add a book on this page, just for example. I'll go insert image, search the web, book. And I'm just doing this quickly, just selecting something, resize. Oops. And okay, so it's selected. And I'm going to go to this insert link right here. And now here is where I will just copy and paste a website address or what slide I want it to link to. So if I want a YouTube video of a kindergarten read aloud, let's pretend this is the one I want. I just select the address in the address bar, Control C to copy, go back to my classroom and just paste it right in here and click apply. And now when students click on this book, it's going to take them to that website. So let's check it in Schoology, kind of refresh it because it's live. So right now, if my students happen to click into their Schoology, they would see this random book floating. So as you're working, you have to kind of be conscious that if it's a work in progress, they could possibly see it at home. So I click the book, I'm a student, and it's taking me to the read aloud. One thing on here that I do like is the home buttons. So if I click on writing and I want to get back to the main page, every page has this little house. I just, same thing, inserted an image, Googled a house icon, and I made this a link to go back to slide 1. I'll show you how to link to other slides. So if I want this book to take me to slide 3 over here, then I just go to the insert link icon and I just start typing. Gotta remove this part. I just start typing slide and it'll pop up, slide 3. And so now when I go back to Schoology, I'll refresh it. if I click on the book, it takes me to my slide 3. So I'm going to remove that. I also have, if you click on this camera button, it links them to all of our classroom pictures, which is just in my Google Drive. So you can also just copy the web address of something in Google Drive, like a PDF, or if you want them to have access to a folder in there, you can link that as well. And just click on a random week and they see our classroom pictures. So going through all of these, reading, I had writing. I'll show you through Schoology. The little star here for a writing optional work would just take you to another printable page if they had a printer at home. That book didn't disappear. Math, there's a lot of interactive parts on this shelf here. So if you click this, it takes you to a website where they can use 10 frames and kind of work with them, which is really great. And the same thing with pattern blocks. This is for dice. So when we were remote, if I would send home any type of a game that I wanted students to have dice for, if they didn't have them at home or I didn't have time to send them, if it was a last minute remote week, they could just use this here dice tool. And move my video out of the way. And right here, it'll just roll the dice for you. And it's quieter. You can make the sound go away rather than a regular dice. Games again, and I've got to remove that. Oh, I did remove the book. The book's still in the way there. I think if I update it one more time, hopefully it goes away. Okay, it's gone. And brain breaks. This link will take us to Go Noodle for songs that we use in the classroom. This is our Zoom link. It will take us right to our Zoom link for the class. And it's really just almost endless, the types of things you can put on. Oh, we're starting to zoom. So if you're creating your own, it's going to take some time. If you go to Teachers Pay Teachers, I just searched Bitmoji classrooms. And you want to click the Google Apps format so that it's Google Slides and not PowerPoint. And you can see there's a lot for money. A lot of them are just a few dollars, but you can sort by free. And they do have some that you can totally edit. So if this is one that you like, you'll just download this while it's adding to your drive. Make sure you click your work email, the one you would like it on, and it'll make a copy for you and you can edit there. Let's view it. And so kind of all this stuff is already done for you. You can still edit, you can move this around, you can delete, you can add, put your name here, make the links your own. This one came with actually 4 rooms, 4 slides. You can delete those. If I just don't want this one here, just delete. You guys know how this works, slides work. So now I want to show you how to create a Bitmoji character that looks like you. It's kind of just makes your room more personable, and you can make them in different poses and say different things. So you would start with bitmoji.com. And I just skipped ahead to the login part, so you weren't looking at my login, but you would just follow these directions, pick what character, what kind of skin color, and you're going to go across and make all of these look like you to the best of your ability. And then you'll click save. I don't want to create a new one for myself because I already have one. But so just bitmoji.com and just create the avatar and click save. Then you're going to go to I would just Google the Bitmoji Chrome extension. Bitmoji Chrome extension. Right here. Mine is already added. If you see this little green icon right here, yours would say to add to Chrome, and it'll just put it right in here, and you'll log in, and every time you open your internet browser, this would be here. So you don't have to go to any tabs or anything to get a Bitmoji character. So if we go back to this, if I wanted to add, I'm already here, but if I wanted to add a different one, I would go to my extension and just type whatever you want. You can see some silly recent ones that I've used. They can get inappropriate, so you really need to look closely. They're small, and sometimes there's something going on in there that you don't realize. So really look closely at what you're putting in. But if I want to be laughing in one of my pictures, I can type laughing, and there will be different pictures of you laughing. If you wanted to say a word, like you can actually type my name and it'll put whatever text you have in it. So there's really random ones: sleeping bag, I'm an octopus. And then you can do the word pose, and then where you'll just be standing in different ways to make it fit in the room that you want. So you can also, sorry, do the same kind of formatting if you go to format options as I showed you with the rug. So if you want to position it, rotate it, flip it the other way, um, resize it, you could make it a link also, just like the other images. Click it, insert a link. Maybe it takes you to a page about you or something like that. But this will always be here. So sometimes I'll make worksheets and it has the Bitmoji character on it, or sign it in emails. But it's just something a little bit extra for students to kind of see you and make it a little bit more personable. So the trickier part is how to get this slide into your Schoology and make it big for your students to see. And I'm going to let Miss Coleman show you how to do that part. So if you have any, let me get back to that. Here we go. If you have any questions on this, feel free to email. I probably went off on some tangents here, but hopefully you got the info, and let me know if you have any questions.